If you have kids, if you have children in this crowd, everything I say is really going to hit. And if you don't, listen very closely, because man, is it the worst, huh? Having a kid is fun. She's a little over 2 now. That rules. Having a baby, holy cow, what a stupid thing to do. In the middle of COVID, too, what a couple of nimrods. What were we thinking? Just make it tougher for ourselves. And again, like I said, I love her so much. It's just wild what that'll do to you. When she came out, the second she came out, I was like, I would die for that. I would die for that kid. That's crazy to think. I can't think that about anybody else, you know? I mean, I like to think that about my wife, but come on, what do we, you know? Maybe, you know? Someone's got to raise that kid. Yeah, it's wild. Her name's Maxine, you know, pretty strong, right? Isn't that a good name? It's got that X in there. I like it. It's tough. That X makes her sound all gnarly. People ask if we had a boy or a girl. I go, neither. We had a woman. And her name's Maxine. Respect the name, bruv. The whole labor process, it's terrifying. Like, I wish I would have known a couple more things. Like, you go to the hospital, and as a guy in the whole relationship, you just feel useless, you know? Like, you're walking in with a woman, she's just mad pregnant, just doing magic with her body, and we're getting to the hospital, I got a hat on for some reason. What are we doing? I was like, I should wear a hat to the hospital. That's the move. That's what everybody wants to see. Who's that guy in the hat? He's the dad? Oh, yeah. Sure looks like a skateboarder. He's keeping that going. That's what everybody wants. And it was wild. When we got there, I just asked the first person I saw, the charge nurse, she was kind of breaking everything down, how it was going to go. And I was like, can I help at all? Is there anything I can do that would actually be of service for this, you know, this whole process? With a hat on the whole time. I just got a hat on looking at her. And she told me, she's like, yeah, actually, you can help. We found that when labor starts, if the partner tells a joke, that helps. That's crazy. That she even said it out loud. I don't know how you even got that out of your mouth. But she told me that. She's like, yeah, if the partner tells some jokes, we found that can help during the delivery process, during contractions and everything. And I thought, well, holy cow, this isn't going to be hard at all. I've heard a lot of crazy stuff about this birth thing, and nope, I think I got it. The word painful gets thrown around a bunch. I doubt it. Not if a joke's gonna help. It can't be that painful. So I wasn't as nervous as I was when she said that. Maybe she was just doing it to calm me down. It worked. So I was kind of excited for labor to start, and I was just there hanging out, and you know they induce and then contractions start. So I saw a contraction, the very beginning of labor. I saw it right in front of my face with my own 2 eyes. I saw a contraction, and I thought to myself, what a silly suggestion that was to recommend that I tell a joke during that. It looked insane. It's the most painful thing I could possibly imagine. They say the equivalent is like breaking your femur. Bull roar. I highly doubt it. I was watching that whole thing, and it looked like if you just balled up every single breakup and like flat tire, and every time I've been hit in the face, like every ice cream headache I've ever had, every time I've ever talked to a cop, and just balled them all up and made it like the size of a pretty small watermelon, and just put it in my butt. That's about the closest I can think of. Just put that right in the old butt, and then you're like, all right, we got it in your butt now. Force it out. And I would say, I don't think a joke's gonna help with this, so I hope that's not what you're planning. I can't imagine somebody walking in ready to administer an epidural, and I'd just be standing there, get in the middle, just pie face them like, nah, bro, she ain't gonna be needing all that, dog, because your boy was up all night writing zingers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This labor's gonna be fun. I'd be shocked if she even notices she's having a kid, so you might want to stick around. Chicken's gonna be crossing this road all day long, baby. Tell a joke. It's insane. So the whole process is it's just such a wild experience. It was like a fever dream the whole time. Like labor starts. One thing that's kind of cool is they let you play music. I didn't know they did that. I didn't know a hospital. They were just like, yeah, play whatever you want. And my wife had a playlist with a bunch of Christmas songs, which, hell yeah, I'm in. But then she had one sneaky little Eminem song in there. What are we doing? Lose Yourself was on there. I heard it, and like my daughter's crowning. I was like, we're just gonna get her, make sure she doesn't come out to Lose Yourself. No. It's a fine song. It's a fine song, but you don't want her coming into the world being like, all right, bro, this is how it goes. So yeah, you're just in a crazy headspace. But I could have used a little more knowledge just about the whole process, the whole birthing process, the whole labor process. It really would have helped. A couple key things I could have used some information on. The first thing is the placenta. It's not gross. Don't give me that, ugh. It's magic. Gnarly. It's gnarly. We can say that. Gnarly is the operative word, right? But they don't tell you anything about it. So I could use some more information on the placenta. A couple key points. The first, how does it come out? Or that it comes out at all. I didn't know that was going to happen. Boy, that would have been tight to know that was going to happen. I had no idea. So that really would have helped. And then also, what does it look like? Really would have helped me just in the whole fever dream that is birth. Because you're standing there, and again, it's amazing. Everything is just so amazing to see. And our woman was born absolutely ridiculously. I was just staring at her like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But I didn't fall in love right away. I was terrified. She was screaming, and it's like, we're animals. What kind of animal wants a screaming animal to move in with it? No thanks. I wasn't excited. She came out, I was just like, man, this sucks. We wrecked it. Why'd we do this? What a bummer. She's screaming, I'm never going to skateboard again. I'm never going to have a beer again. Never going to see my friends. All those things that a 40-year-old should be thinking when their daughter is born. It's like, man, when am I going to do some more kickflips, So she came out, and I was looking at her, and I was just trying to process the whole thing. And my wife is over here. So my wife's vagina is like right about here, right? So here's her vagina. Here's our brand new daughter. So I'm looking at our daughter, trying to wrap my mind around the whole thing. And out of the corner of my eye, about a minute after my daughter was born, I saw something else come flying out of my wife like it was shot out of a t-shirt cannon. It was the placenta. That sucker's moving when it comes out. Nobody told me that. That would have been dope to know. Because also, when you see a placenta, it doesn't look like it's going to make, like come out. It looks like it'd be more of like a bleh, So I didn't expect it. So this thing comes shooting out of her vagina, and I was just standing there thinking like, whoa, holy buckets. Because I didn't know what it was. I had no clue what it was. I don't know what a placenta looks like, but I do know what I think a stomach looks like. It's crazy, because I don't know what organs look like. I'm not a doctor, so I saw this thing come flying out. I was like, well, that's a stomach. For sure, that's a stomach. I was like, what do I know? A heart doesn't look like this, It just looks like a hunk of shit. So I saw what I thought was her stomach come flying out, and this is all in my mind. I was thinking like, whoa, I'll be dipped. I didn't even know that could happen. I didn't know a stomach could come out of a vagina. But here we are. We're all in this mess together. So her stomach just came out of her vagina, and the doctors are holding it, but the doctors didn't look like they cared at all. So, yeah, I was just like, why don't they look like they care at all? Because I don't know much, but I do know she's gonna need a stomach to help me raise this baby. You're gonna want to jam that sucker back in there. So they're just holding it, and they started taking it farther. They started taking it across the room to the other end of the room, and I'm like, why are they taking her stomach farther away from her body? I mean, that's just bonkers, Like, I'm not a stomach doctor. I'm not going to act like a stomach doctor, but call the stomach doctor. Get them down here. And then I was just like, man, does this just happen sometimes? Because everybody was so cool about it. So I was like, does that happen? Like 1 out of every 5 kids, the stomach comes out after the kid? It just comes out of the vagina? And then I was like, what's stopping everything else from coming out? I don't know. I don't know if your stomach's attached to anything. I have no idea what it's all floating in there like little organ Tetris. And I was like, what if that came out? Maybe it'd open up the floodgates and like her pancreas is gonna come out and her lungs, her spleen. Like if I just go pull her arm, is it like a big organ lottery that just comes flying out? It'd be a lot of work. I think the stomach doctor could fix that. So yeah, just let your boy know. Real simple line of dialogue when I walk in. Be like, hey, the placenta looks like a stomach and it's gonna come flying out. Don't sweat it. It saved me a lot of mental gymnastics, you know? The next thing is skin-to-skin contact. I could have used a little more knowledge as to when that was going to go down. I'm saying. I know what it is. Skin-to-skin contact is when you take off your shirt and you just put the bare naked baby on your chest. I'm here for that. I don't know, it seems like they've been doing it like 15, 20 years. I don't know. My dad didn't do it, I don't think. I don't think that was a big Pat Jordan move. Maybe if they took me to whatever bar he was at when I was born. They could have done that. I'm sure he wasn't wearing a shirt, so it would have been easy. He just up at the bar and they're like, boom, you're bonded, bro. You can't do anything about it. So yeah, skin to skin, you take the brand new naked baby, put him on your bare chest. I'm here for that. I just wish I would have known that was going to have to happen immediately. That happens right away. So I was just standing there, and so like I'll timeline it for you, right? So our daughter's born, and then there's that whole stomach placenta fiasco. And then like 2 minutes after that, so she's been alive for 3 minutes, the doctor looks at me out of nowhere for no reason, and she goes, you, take your shirt off. No. That's just ridiculous. Why would I take my shirt off? Everybody had a shirt on except for our daughter. I'm sorry. Sorry we didn't toss one on her before she came out. But like, everyone's got a shirt on, and I'm just like, why would I take my shirt off? It's the daytime. I'm sober. I'm in a hospital. I'm not hurt, you know? Like, all those things to me are screaming, keep your shirt on, keep your shirt on, keep your shirt on. Like, why would I take it off? Are we gonna fight? I don't see any... Trying to catch these hands, Doc? What's up? So I said that. I go, no, why would I take my shirt off? And she goes, well, we do skin-to-skin contact right away, so you need to get it off. And so, of course, I obliged. I took my shirt off immediately again. I just wish I would have known that was going to have to happen right away, because I was wearing jeans, and I don't have a shirt off, jeans on kind of body. Don't forget about the hat, too. So it was one of those situations where I took the hat off, and I was like, oh, I'm going to put the hat back on, of course. What a crazy look, because then I was just standing there with no shirt and a hat and jeans, and I looked like I went to a pickup game and nobody picked me. I was like, I promise, I'm good. You can play basketball in jeans. Let me in. Let me go, you know. So I'm just standing there with no shirt and a hat, wearing jeans, and but they didn't do anything. And then I was just standing there. I was like, why? Come on. What are we... Was there a reason I don't have my shirt on? Because they just kept doing medical stuff. And then they told me to go sit in the corner to receive my baby. That was the verbiage they used. They're like, go sit in the corner to receive your baby. And I look around, there's one chair, and it's in the only pitch black corner of the whole room. The rest of the room is lit up like this, like big vagina lights all over the whole room. I'm serious, it's just huge vagina lights. They're stitching up my wife's vagina as this is happening. And then I look, and there's one pitch black corner with a rocking chair in it for some reason. And so I walked over there, again, like no shirt, jeans, hat, just walked over there. And I just sat in the rocking chair. And of course I start rocking back and forth, because if you sit still in a rocking chair, you look like an absolute psychopath. Especially if you're not wearing a shirt. I'd just be like... So I'm sitting there rocking back and forth, but then they didn't hand me my baby for like 25 minutes. That's a long time. It's a long time. That's definitely 25 minutes I could have been wearing a shirt. I didn't need to have it off the whole time. I wasn't wearing a corset, you know? It's a pretty easy shirt to take off as a crow flies. So yeah, I'm just sitting over there with no shirt, and all of this is still medical, right? All this is still medical. They're all still in their scrubs and hospital gowns. My wife's laying there, my daughter's crying over here, and then in the dark corner of the room, I was sitting in a rocking chair, rocking back and forth with no shirt on, wearing jeans and a hat, and I was kind of smiling by that point, because I was like, being a dad's pretty cool. The juxtaposition was bonkers. I looked like the Joker sitting in there. It just looked like I snuck in. Like if you walked by, you'd have been like, why is that mechanic sitting in the corner? It's weird that he's just watching.